This is David Moorfield with WisdomWorks, and this is how to administer Be Well, Lead Well Pulse. Based on your role as a certified guide, you'll be able to do the following. Set up participants to take Be Well, Lead Well Pulse assessments, add a project if you need to, download assessment feedback reports, and view the list of surveys recently completed. As a guide, you either have or will receive an email from this address, so take note of it and write it down. Once you click this link, it will take you to this page. This is where you sign in. Here's where you can place your email and password. And here's where you can change your password. After you sign in, it will direct you to the Welcome Guide page. Here's the Welcome page, and it serves as your home page. Here you can add a project and search for a project. Below that you see participants where you can add and search for participants. In the middle of the page, you can find the number of assessments you have available. This person has 8, and the number of group reports, this person has 4. At the bottom of the home page, you can look up recently completed surveys. Going back to the top of the page, to the right and top, there's a button that you'll want to remember. This is the Guide Access button. Press this at any time and it brings you back to the home page. Let's explore adding a project. If you have a group of participants who you think will be in a certain project, you can add the project now or later on. So let's click on the Add Project button. It takes you here to the Add New Project page. Underneath, you see Project Details. Here's where you could add the name of the project. You can add the name of the organization. And when you're finished, press Save. Going back to the home page, there's a couple of items to note. If you want to look up a project that you've already created, you can place the name of the project here and the system will find it. Or you can place the cursor in this line and press the return key, and it'll show you all the projects that this person has. I'll go back to the Guide Access, and it takes us back to the Welcome page. Now view the participant area. This area works the same as the project area. If I want to find my participants, I'll place the cursor on this line and hit the return key. You notice the guide has several participants that they've added. So here they can find the participant they're searching for. Going back to the home page, let's take a moment and add a participant. So we're adding a new participant under the participant details. Let's add first name, and we'll call him Perry. Last name is Peroxide. And hit the Tab button. Now we'll add his email. And we'll confirm his email. I can place organization or company name here. I'm not going to do that right now, so I'm ready to save this. And you see that I was able to save my changes successfully. This green bar is important. It will appear anytime you add or delete a participant successfully. If it's a red bar, it will likely need new or more information. Back on the home page, again, I did this by pressing the Guide Access button. Here we can look up Perry. Obviously, we just added him as a participant. I'd now like to send Perry a Be Well, Lead Well Pulse assessment. We can send Perry an assessment a couple of different ways. By placing part of his name or his whole name here, and then hitting return. This will take you to search results where you can see his name and information. Or we can go back to the home page, place the cursor in the same box, and just hit return. And this shows the participants that this particular guide has. You'll see Perry at the bottom. Press Perry's name. It takes me back to the View Participant page. The information that we added a couple of moments ago appears here. Below that, you see project participants. Currently, we haven't added Perry into a project, so let's do that. There's a project I created earlier called Brenda Brunette's Team. I'll click that, and we'll add Perry by pressing the Add button. Now you see the name of the project. The organization, I had an organization linked to that project that I created earlier, the date that it was saved, and you notice you can delete the project where this gold button with the X is located, because we know people change organizations all the time. If you want to take Perry out of this team, here's where you can remove him from the project. So for this example, we'll leave Perry in the project. Looking at the bottom of the page, we'd like to generate a new survey for Perry. You notice he's not taking any other surveys. If he had, there would be information in this area. There's not, so he's a new participant. So I'm going to press the Generate New Survey button. Now you see a couple of different items that show up here. A survey expiration date. This will automatically show a date 2 weeks from today, and it will always do that unless you change the date. And it also automatically places an auto reminder date 3 days prior to the expiration date. Let's change that date on our client's needs. Let's change the expiration date to the 25th. If we change the expiration date, you notice the auto reminder date didn't change, and it will not help because it needs to be placed before the expiration date. So let's make the reminder date the 22nd, 3 days prior to the expiration date. Now that we have our dates placed, let's double check. They look fine, but if there's a reason you change your mind and don't want to generate the survey now, hit the Don't Generate Survey button. But let's go ahead and generate the survey. Please note the green bar at the top of the page. This is important. It means that this participant, based on the email that we have for him, was sent an email with an assessment link attached. Now let's go to the bottom of the page, and you notice what's transpired since we've generated a new survey. You notice these items now show up on your screen. The project. This is Brenda Brunette's team. We placed Perry there, if you remember. The date created is next. And here is today's date. Next is the expiration date. Remember, we changed that. And the auto reminder date. We shortened that date as well. When Perry starts on his survey, that will appear here under the date started. And here is the date when the participant completes the survey. The date will show up here. And this next area is where the report in the form of a PDF resides. When Perry finishes his survey, this icon will change color from this light green to a darker green. Now you'll notice when I hover over the report, there's a circle with a line through it indicating that the report can't be generated just yet. But when the survey is finished, again, it will turn a darker green. This paper airplane icon represents reminder. You can remind the participant to take the survey by clicking here. An email with another link to the survey will be sent. As you know, the auto reminder is already set, but if you're getting close to the expiration date, or at any time, you can send this reminder email with a link by pressing the paper airplane icon. To illustrate this, I'm going to click this icon so that you can see how it populates this area. Last reminded. It shows it was generated today. One last item that's important to know, let's say you're coming up on the assessment expiration date and the participant hasn't finished the survey yet. So in other words, the participant for some reason hasn't been able to complete the survey. You have the option to press this button. This will extend the survey expiration by 2 weeks. This is a benefit to you because you don't have to purchase another survey because the expiration time is run out. But please note that the participant will receive an email stating that they have 2 more weeks to take the survey. So if you do use this, I suggest you urge your person to take the survey sooner than later. This gives you an overview of how to generate a survey. The final area that we'll cover is how to download a Be Well Lead Well Pulse assessment. A couple of ways you can accomplish this if your participant has completed an assessment. The first way, as you remember, you can search for them either by project or participant. Or you can go to the bottom of the home page and see if they show up under recently completed surveys in this area. As you can see, Jennifer Ginger has completed her survey. We click on her name, and this takes us to her View Participant page with all of her information. You notice Jennifer is not assigned to a project. So as we scroll to the bottom of the screen, you see her information. As you notice, she hasn't completed a project, but all of the other dates we discussed do show up. As you hover above her report, you notice the possibility of downloading the report, and you also see the report is darker green that indicates it can be downloaded. Next, I'm going to click Download Report. You can see that the screen goes gray, and you will see a small icon shoot towards the right, towards the bottom of the screen. This means the report has run, but often it takes longer for the report to run. That's why you see the Please Wait message appear at the top. It states that it can take up to 15 seconds for the report to download. I'll press OK. Let's get out of the Be Well Lead Well Pulse account and go to my download folder. And you see there is a PDF file with Be Well Lead Well Pulse and part of Ginger's name on it. Click on the report, and as the report appears, this is the first page of the Pulse report, and Jennifer Ginger's name appears towards the bottom of the page, along with today's date. This is how to generate a report after a participant has taken the Pulse assessment. One final item that's important. Where do you find your guide account? It's located here at BeWellLeadWellPulse.com.